up, everybody? Welcome back to Royal Blu FX. In today's video, we're going to go over some of the trades that we've taken just as of yesterday on Monday. We've taken trades on the US30 index specifically. We're going to show you our wins, our losses, and our break-evens. So all in this video, so stay tuned. Also, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel because we always give out free content. Obviously, we put a lot of hard work into this to make videos for you guys to have available at your fingertips, and we greatly appreciate for those that are current subscribers. Thank you all for the support. So let's get on with the video. All right, so for those that are new to this channel, our process and our way of trading is always starting on the 15-minute time frame. We usually scalp on this channel, but we also take long-term trades as well. But for the most part, we always scalp. So we typically start on the 15-minute time frame as our higher time frame, and then we work our way down to the 5 seconds. All right, so let's start with this over here. Okay, so we're on the 15-minute time frame. We're on the US30 index. Okay, we were here on Monday morning. I believe it was Monday the 15th. So if you want to go and see this and see if we were trading correctly, you can go over here on Monday, right over here. So we were looking at this. We were looking at the market. We saw that price was broken. We made our trend line here. Price broke this high over here, and then our thought was thinking to ourselves, okay, well, what we're looking for here on the 15-minute is obviously for prices to go bearish here, to pull back, come and mitigate this area of demand. So obviously on the 15-minute, it would take a long time for us to scalp. So what we did was naturally going down to lower time frames, looking for prices to potentially to push bullish. So let's scale down to the 1 minute here. Let me just cut this market over here. Cut the market here. I'll explain what this was later. Okay, right over here. All right, so we were all the way down here. So as you can see, when price came and mitigated this major area of demand here, this major area of demand was actually a demand on the 5 minute, I believe. Let me look over here. Yes, it was on the 5 minute. So this 5 minute demand here tapped this last down move before the major move pushed up. Okay, and so our anticipation was, okay, well, when price was down here, it mitigated, and as we all know, when price mitigates, right, the price has to liquidate, mitigate, show an aggression, and then show us that chalk boss, and then push prices to the upside, right? So once price tapped this demand area, we were automatically convinced that we needed to look for buys, and we needed to buy right away. So once price tapped here, I wasn't so convinced in the case to look for buys all the way down here, even though we have a chalk formation, right? What I was clearly doing was just sort of waiting for price to see what would happen, right? Like if price would react, if price would ever go bearish here, inside the demand zone, or is price going to keep its bullish order flow bullish, right? So I was waiting for this high really to be broken because this would signify that the actual high would be broken here and would show us that there's momentum for the upside. Obviously this is the first sign of the break of structure, which is our chalk, right? So we got that low broken first here, and then we got that high broken second. So this gave me already enough confidence that price should continue bullish because price did tap the demand zone. Price did change the direction of the market, pushing bullish. So once that happened, once this chalk happened right over here, you can see it right over here. You can see clearly that I didn't buy in right away, even though we had our demand placed over here. And the reason for that is because if I buy here, there's no knowing if this first break of structure is actually going to be a liquidity grab from this high over here, right? Because typically a first break of structure would indicate to us that it's just a break of structure. It could be a liquidity grab from these highs here, right? You can see all this internal liquidity in here. You can see that the supply zone was mitigated already here now with this high here, right? And we don't know if price will just mitigate, take out liquidity, right, and then push price bearish like this. So we wanted to be really careful and weary on areas like this, and we waited for 2 breaks of structures because that will indicate if price is actually indeed bullish. So you can see over here that once we broke this high, we were comfortable enough now to look for the next buy, right, for that next demand area. So what happened here, when price broke, we asked ourselves what broke this high here, right? It was this area of demand right over here, this area or this area. This could have easily, this area here could have been easily an inducement for this demand area. So that's why we marked both of these two demand zones here. So we tested out the first one, right? We scaled down to the 5 seconds, and we just waited patiently for price to reach that area. Now, my sort of practice here is, you know, since we have two demand zones, either of them can go, right? It's not that this one has a more high probable chance than this one, or this one has a more high probable chance of this one, right? It was either one could have gone because they were both meeting my criteria. Now, if we go from this low to this high and we put the Fibonacci tool like this, notice how we're below the area in the discount area, discount zone, right? So this is a good area to look for buy. So it was either this area of demand or this area of demand where prices would have gone bullish here. And so I went with my gut, obviously, went with my gut, and then pretty much bought right away. Didn't need any more confirmation. And knowing that the higher time frame is bullish now, especially the structure is bullish, we just took a pretty much a manual buy here. We buy manually. We don't put buy limits or sell limit orders like that. And we targeted this high. Now here's the funny part. Okay, so we banked 7.4% on this trade, and we were out of the trade. Now here's the funny part. I don't know why sometimes my brain works in a weird way where price where I know in hindsight that this swing here, right, is bullish on the higher time frame, but I sometimes keep my mind focused only on current highs and current lows. Like right here, there's a current high, current low, current high, current low. So my anticipation is here to always target the current high, which isn't a bad thing, but the other part of it is knowing that, you know, we're taking a massive trade on the higher time frame. Therefore, I could stay comfortably in this trade and come and hit this area of supply like this, and then banked about 20% on this trade, right? But which is no problem, right? I mean, anything at the end of the day, a profit is a profit, right? You know, we don't want to be too greedy, obviously, and too selfish. So that's why we were able to take a buy here and take this and profit here and then be done with it, right? But lo and behold, obviously, as you know, some markets work in mysterious ways sometimes, and they, you know, go in your direction, the intended direction that you were looking to target. So let's continue. All right, so we were over here at this point. Price is bullish. We were looking to this price tag, the supply zone. Now I could have taken an aggressive sell, but I didn't, obviously, and I wouldn't. I would need to look for more confirmation for price to go bearish here. But instead, obviously, since we know on the higher time frame, right now the higher time frame is bullish, we need to be looking for buys only, right? You can see how price mitigated this extreme demand, came to our extreme supply here, extreme supply zone right there. So we were waiting to see what price would do there, and, you know, pretty much see the behavior of this area here. Okay, so once price broke out of this area, we were on the 1 minute actually, like this. We saw that the 1 minute was broken. We saw that the structure, this high was broken on the 1 minute like this, right? Price respected the supply, but then it flipped. So this is considered a flip, and then we look to capitalize on this actually from right here. So this is what happened. Again, price broke the high over here. Let me just zoom in so I can show you. Price broke that high. All right, and then we saw what caused this break of structure. It was this low here. So we're just taking a continuation of this huge push to the upside, right? We're taking the swing leg over here. We're taking a continuation on this huge swing leg to push market bullish. You can see evidently here we didn't take a buy yet. We're just making sure to see, is this high, is this break of structure just a liquidity grab, or is this an actual continuation, right? So we waited for that first break of structure over here, like that, and then we waited for that second break of structure like so, right? Once the second break of structure happened, then I was like, okay, well, of course I could have taken a buy here, which we didn't. Obviously, I was waiting for another third break of structure to see if price would continue bullish, only because we were facing this huge area of supply zone, and so we didn't know if price would react to it aggressively like this and start going bearish, and if it did, we would be in a bad position, right? So that's why it's always good to be patient. It's always good to look for extra confirmation once price got to our demand zone like this. Obviously, you can see we were in this trade. You can evidently see that this low obviously didn't quite break the high here, so we were kind of playing in some, fire here. But my intuition and my my analogy to this trade, the way I broke this trade down, evidently told me that we're still buys. So I wasn't thinking to myself that this isn't a true buy, because it was a buy at the end of the day, because it met all our rules. So price acted aggressively here. We were in this trade, and we were looking to target this high, the high of this supply zone, only because when price is very deep like this, it'll normally come inside the 50% of the high and the low of this supply zone, or it may reach the extreme. If it reached the 50%, then it could react really aggressively here. So we could have lost money or break even in this case too. If we didn't know what we were doing, obviously. So once we were here, we were watching the market, right? We're still waiting. We had our break-even line over here, right? Securing the break-even line, so that way we were break even if prices went against us. And then we just looked at it again. We're patiently waiting to see what's happening. We see that there is another high that price made. Here's another entry we could have made, but we didn't, obviously, since this is a scalp, right? And we're already more than halfway of the trade bullish here, so it didn't make any sense to keep compounding on this trade. We were able to TP right here at the tip of the supply zone, so this was a good sign, and we were out of the market from there. Okay, and then these are the two trades that we've taken. So again, we're just scalping. We're looking where the main direction of the market is, which is on the higher time frame, and then we just look to follow structure on the lower time frame, follow the order flow and structure on the lower time frame. So once this happened, again, now we're sort of limbing around this supply zone, and we're now wondering to ourselves, what is happening? Could we expect price to go bearish here? Could we expect for price to go bullish, right? So the importance of trading really is, again, just to be patient, just to watch what the market's doing. Because a lot of the times we always have the excuse to say to ourselves, oh, I got to be trading now. I got to be trading now. I got to be placing a sell or a buy right now, right? Which is very, very human of us to do, right? Because we don't want to miss that opportunity. Okay, so here we marked our low and our high. I asked myself, okay, well, I'm looking for a buy here, right? For a small buy here from this low to this high here. My anticipation was here to say to myself, okay, well, we're looking for a chalk, obviously. We're looking for that break of structure right over here. If this low here can break this high, because this is our previous high here, if that low can break that high, then we can actually look for buys, right? So here's what happened. So once price broke above this high, then I was telling myself, okay, cool. Let me see if price can give me another break of structure. Hence that break of structure line over here that you see. I'm sorry, guys, I'm back on the video now. I had to take care of some problems with my wife's new client who just came in. Okay, so let's continue back here. So we see where I obviously waited for the first break of structure. The first break of structure didn't really tell me if price was going to go bullish here, even though we have a chalk. Sometimes chalks react a little differently, which we'll talk about in another video from here. But we didn't buy here yet. We were looking for the second break of structure to happen. Obviously, we had this weird behavior happen here. Then we saw another area of a demand where price could react. So what I was waiting for here was price to come in, tap this area of demand, and it didn't, obviously, as you can see here. So we have some left inducement in here. So now what was going on was, now that we have two breaks of structures, 1 and 2, I was looking for buys here, although this is what happened, like this. Notice how price came so aggressively down bearish like this. So I was like, okay, well, we're not a buy just yet then, because evidently if this low broke this high, this low here should go. Okay, this low should be pushing bullish here. And we had this wick here, which I was like, okay, this is nice, but I'm not taking a buy right away. I'm waiting for price to stop, stall, and then show me that bullish momentum pushing upwards, and then I enter the markets. So this here was a bad sign for me. I stayed away from here, and I just wanted to wait. I just wanted to wait and watch to see what the markets would do. Now, evidently, we have this extreme low here that is still being respected. I want to see some bullish intent here from this area here to see if price can break this high like this and show me some more bullish momentum. And if it did, I would look for potential entries here. And I don't think it showed me that. Yeah, so here we go. Prices tapped this area of demand. Again, I'm not buying this right now. I'm not sold, because now we see that there's bearish intention going here internally, right? So if anything, price should come here and go bearish like this, continue going bearish like this. And I wasn't buying anything just right now. See, notice how price retraced, mitigated, pushed bearish here. So again, that's why we didn't buy here at this demand, even though we have a complete chalk, right? Which means a change of character. Price should be pushing bullish. But you can see this aggressive, you can see this consistent order flow pushing bearish, which also gave us that sign was that this is not a buy completely for us. So we didn't buy anything right now. We're just waiting for prices to do something here. Obviously, you can see that there's still some bearish intent going on here. I'm not sold yet. Right here we had the main break of structure, this main low broken here. You can see that there's a flip. We were thinking to sell this, but I was like, you know, I'm not selling something small. I want to, if anything, I want to take advantage of this huge buy happening bullish. Now, the reason why I'd be looking for buys, even though we have one break of structure here, is because just because there's one break of structure doesn't mean that price is going bearish or changing the direction. We'll always look for two breaks of structures for a change of direction. So obviously price went down, right? Price barely tapped the demand zone. We're marking our areas, the chalk areas. We're looking for this high to be broken, only because this is the high that was responsible for this break of structure. So we're looking for this chalk to happen like this. We were waiting here patiently, right, as we should. Always wait patient. Just keep marking your highs and your lows. You know, there's nothing you shouldn't be afraid to be fearing of missing out a trade. Now you can see here that we have a full mitigation of this the markets here. Again, we're still bearish here. I was still waiting for a clean chalk. Now we can see that there's a clean break of structure to the low side like this, and another one here. This low did not break this high here, so we were still adapting to the structure that is showing us right here. We see that there's a high there broken. I don't know why I didn't mark that out, but I was waiting for a clean break, a clean break from the clear flow of bearish flow here. You can see that there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low, right? So now we have that clean break over there. This is the first indication that price should potentially go upwards. I'm waiting for another break of structure, hence that BOS that I have right there. This low came here and broke this this low over here. This high broke the low. So now I'm like thinking, okay, you know, we still need to break another structure. We're always looking for break of structures, guys. You know, structure is really key to trading, right? So we got another clear structure. We got this high breaking this low. We have this high here. This high here broken this low. Now this shows me another chalk, right? So we have a break to the downside, a break to the upside. Now, was I sold on buying completely? No, because we're still bearish. This is our extreme high here that could still react to this supply zone and push prices bearish like this. So I wasn't too sold. I wasn't sold on it quite just yet. Oh, actually, here's what happened. So we saw here where price was showing bullish momentum by breaking the first break of structure, right? Then if you see over here, we had another break of structure right there. I didn't mark it out, but I just knew in hindsight that was our bullish move here. Here we go. And then this is what told me this was a buy right over here. You can see that this BOS here was the one marked out. Even though we didn't break the main BOS, the main high here, we saw the order flow was pushing bullish here. You can see the first break of structure, 1, then 2. So then we marked out our last down candle, right? Split our risk here, and we just took that trade, entrusting in the process that prices should reach, continue bullish from here, right? And that was our first TP at 9.75%. and that's where we close the trade, right over there. So as you can see, all this insanity that we were waiting for just for price to, you know, reverse, to change, we had to watch price very carefully here, and the whole point of it was really just waiting for those two break of structures. If anything, always lean on the two breaks of structures, because that would tell us the price is continuing bullish or bearish in this case. Okay, so we were here. I was kind of prominent on selling here, like right away, based off of this first break of structure. Sometimes the first break of structure will be a sell down here, and it would come and mitigate some, you know, a low down here. But I didn't do that. Obviously, I'm not running into it because we know the major structure is bullish. Therefore, I'm not looking for any sells. I'm not looking to sell at all. I'm not looking to try and catch something at the last minute or be fearing of missing out. So, what did I do in here? I saw that this low here was responsible for this break of structure, and you can see that there's that's the order block here. I didn't enter the market right away, which I probably should have, but you know, it's fine, right? Because now we're following order flow. We're following this internal structure, internal structure's order flow. Excuse me, it's external structure, because this is external, internal. So we're following the order flow here. There's two breaks of structures. This gave me enough confidence that price should push bullish here. And then once we had this happen, you can see that there's one break of structure, two, right? Price came back to the deep retracements right here. Prices started showing order flow here, and I just took a buy here, and I was already convinced that this is a buy here. Once prices pushed up, I was like, oh, this is great, yay, right? And then all of a sudden, prices went bearish here and took us out at break even. Now the reason for that is because this low here wasn't able to break that high, this major supply. So anything could happen here, right? Anything like this low isn't guaranteed to break this high, or at least let alone meet at the supply zone over here, or at the current high, excuse me, right? But it did meet the supply zone over here, right over here, which gave us that bearish intention here, that reaction, and so price started going bearish. And so we're like, okay, that's fine, whatever. We're just going to go and capitalize on the next move once price shows us its intention. Now we're looking for buys, obviously, here, and you can see here what says trade not taken. I was looking to sell, but I didn't sell it. Let's go all the way down here. Now you're probably wondering, well, why didn't you take a buy down here? Well, that's a very good question. We see that we have bearish order flow now. We have the first break of structure, second break of structure, right? But we're all in. All this order flow is controlled by this low and this high here. All this order flow. So that's why I wasn't too sold on taking a sell here, even though I know that two breaks of structures indicate a trend change. And let me see if what happened here. So there you go. There's that reaction, right? So I could have taken a sell immediately right there. Let me move my chart here. I don't know why it's lagging. Okay, so I could have taken a sell right away, right, and look to TP down here, or potentially TP this major low down here. So we were looking for prices to do something here. We were convinced that price broke structure here. So my only conviction here was to look for order flow to push bullish, to look for that next buy, because on the higher time frame says we're still bullish. Now here's the funny thing: since I was looking to take a sell here, and I obviously haven't taken the sell, we broke this low. Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, this must be a change of direction, right? This is a chalk because we have a break at the high and break at the low here. So automatically I was thinking, okay, well, we should be looking for sells, but I'm like, no, obviously we know that just one break of structure isn't a sell. It's not a change of direction. So we were waiting for either the high to be broken or another break of structure to the downside to be broken. And this is where it's really cool, where how you use your sort of psychology and sort of your, rules, right? Rules around structure. We had that first break of structure. That didn't tell me if structure was pushing bullish yet. We waited for another break of structure, as you see, hence the second BOS right over here. We had the first BOS, which is the chalk, and the second BOS. This told me and convinced me that we were looking for buys, so evidently I put a limit order there. Excuse me, not a limit order. I just bought aggressively here, as I knew that price should go bullish here. Now, my first intention here was to only target this supply zone here, right over here, to the low of this supply zone, and I would have capitalized like 4%, I think. Let me just check what it was. I think it was 4%. Yeah, 4.3%. I'm like, yeah, that's too low, right? I'm like, you know what? Okay, I took some partials out and I'll let the rest run, see what happened. Obviously now price is pushing bullish, and I was like, okay, everything looks good. We should be pushing bullish here now, and hopefully looking to target this high here. And we stayed in this, believing in the process. And there you go, voila, we capitalized, I think, 9.6%. Yeah, 9.6%. So we closed the whole entire trade. Now we have intention, obviously, here. There's another chalk, which is the main structure, right? We have that high, low, high, low. We have a chalk to the upside now, right? So this also gave me more confidence that prices should go bullish here, and that we should be looking for buys. My intention again was to wait for another break of structure, hence that BOS right there again. We wanted to see that order flow was pushing bullish. Let me play this a little fast. Okay, so you can see here we had that POY tapped, right? I didn't buy anything. Obviously, we can ask ourselves, who broke this high? It was this low right there that broke that high. So there's your buy. We waited for more confirmation, and here was that confirmation. Okay, so a little crazy story behind this trade. I could see that we had a high broken here. We asked ourselves, what broke in this high? It was this low, it was this major low, but there was also another low in here. You can see that prices are stalling in here. I had this trade right at this area here like this, and I took a buy like this. Watch this. All right, so prices were going up. I'm just at the tip of my, supply demand zone, excuse me. But then I looked at this candle. I was like, okay, well, this is unmitigated, so this is probably inducement for this order block. So then I just grabbed my risk just a little bit more and just pushed it a little lower like this, about for a 5.5% here. And then I took the trade, and I was like, okay, great, this is all good. I'm smiling, everything's good. Then prices are just kind of, dwindling like this. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Prices should go bullish, right? Then I noticed, I'm like, okay, well, this candle here got mitigated. So I was correct when I said that this is my order block here, and all this in here is internal liquidity and also inducement. So price played out just perfectly here, and I was just kind of on my seat, holding my seat tight. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Price should just push bullish here. It's consolidating a lot. Normally when price is consolidating a lot, it gives me the intuition that prices are probably just going to reverse and head bearish here. But in some cases, in rare cases like this happen where prices start breaking a high like this and now pushing bullish. And I was just in this now, in this trade fully, as you can see over here, I was targeting my main high, right? The main high on the 1 minute, right over here. Okay, we had this supply zone mitigated, so we knew that prices were just heading to this supply zone. And then that's where we would be finishing the trade like this, right? Then lo and behold, obviously, now if I play this for you guys, I was telling myself, man, it would be great to be on the higher time frame, even be in the 5 minute, 15 minute to see what other high would be potentially targeting. And look at how disgustingly amazing this is. I could have held this trade obviously, and then look to take TP all the way at the highs over here. Let's speed this process up over here so I can show you. So obviously you can see price is just bullish here, and this is where I could have profited even more. I could have profited probably a good, about 19% right there. So yeah, but like again, I say this always and always again. You can never be too greedy in the markets. Always take what you are reasonably wanting to take and get out of the markets. Don't be greedy and stay in the market. Right? I could have taken more of my partials here or whatever, or the partials, and let the rest run. I could have done that as well and let the rest break even. So I could have done that as well, right? For a safer side. And that's it, guys. That's all the trades we've taken on Monday, on the 15th of August. And I hope you guys like this video. If you guys really found this very informative, and useful, please hit that like button, and please comment below on the bottom of that in the comment section. Tell us what you didn't like, or if you did like it, and what we can improve on in terms of explaining, guys. And as always, please subscribe to this video, to this channel more importantly, because we always give out free content. Until then, guys, I will see you later.